Coffee. For many, it's more than just a drink. It's a daily ritual, a morning wake-up call, and even a late-night fuel for those big projects or study sessions. But what exactly is it about coffee that gives us that boost of energy? And how does caffeine actually affect our brains? Today, let's dive into the fascinating science of coffee and explore exactly what happens in your brain when you drink it. What is caffeine? First, let's understand what caffeine actually is. Caffeine is a natural stimulant found in coffee, tea, and even some plants, such as cacao beans. Chemically, caffeine is known as a methylxanthine, a class of compounds that influence the central nervous system. Essentially, caffeine acts as a central nervous system stimulant, meaning it increases activity in your brain and nervous system. This is why caffeine is known to increase alertness and ward off drowsiness, giving you that characteristic boost shortly after you drink it. How does caffeine work in the brain? Alright, now let's break down what happens when caffeine enters your system. Caffeine works primarily by interacting with a specific brain receptor called the adenosine receptor. Adenosine is a neurotransmitter in your brain that promotes relaxation and sleepiness. Throughout the day, as you're awake and going about your daily activities, adenosine levels gradually build up, attaching to receptors in the brain and making you feel increasingly tired. But here's where caffeine comes in. The caffeine molecule has a similar structure to adenosine, so it can bind to adenosine receptors in place of adenosine itself. This essentially blocks the receptors, preventing adenosine from binding to them and signaling to the brain that it's time to relax or sleep. In simpler terms, caffeine tricks your brain by temporarily stopping the natural buildup of adenosine from making you feel drowsy. So, instead of feeling tired, you feel more alert and energized. The dopamine boost, but the effects of caffeine don't stop there. By blocking adenosine, caffeine indirectly increases the release of other neurotransmitters, specifically dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good neurotransmitter because it's responsible for feelings of pleasure, motivation, and reward. Caffeine increases dopamine production in certain areas of the brain, enhancing your mood and giving you that characteristic lift. This is one of the reasons coffee can feel so satisfying. Not only is it blocking the feeling of fatigue, but it's also giving you a small boost in mood and alertness. How long does caffeine's effect last? Now, you might wonder, how long do these effects last? Well, the half-life of caffeine, the time it takes for your body to eliminate half of the caffeine you consumed, is generally about 4 to 6 hours. This means if you drink a cup of coffee containing 200 milligrams of caffeine at 8 a.m., by around noon, you'll still have around 100 milligrams of caffeine active in your system. However, this can vary widely based on factors like age, metabolism, and even how accustomed your body is to caffeine. For some people, caffeine's effects may last even longer, which is why drinking coffee in the late afternoon can lead to trouble falling asleep at night. Can you build a tolerance? Now, let's address a common question. Can you build a tolerance to caffeine? The answer is yes. Over time, if you regularly consume caffeine, your brain will actually increase the number of adenosine receptors. This means that to feel the same stimulating effects of caffeine, you might need to consume higher amounts. This tolerance explains why new coffee drinkers often feel more intense effects compared to seasoned coffee enthusiasts who might need 2 or 3 cups to achieve the same effect. Potential downsides. While caffeine is generally safe for most people in moderate amounts, there can be downsides to regular or excessive caffeine consumption. Moreover, because caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, over-reliance on caffeine can lead to a rebound effect. When caffeine wears off, adenosine floods the brain's receptors, causing a sudden feeling of tiredness or even a caffeine crash. The health benefits of coffee. Now, it's worth mentioning that studies have shown several potential health benefits associated with moderate coffee consumption. Research suggests that coffee drinkers have a lower risk of developing conditions like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, and even certain types of cancer. These effects are believed to stem from coffee's high antioxidant content, which helps reduce inflammation and protect cells from damage. To sum it up, caffeine in coffee acts as a fascinating brain stimulant. It blocks the chemical responsible for making you feel sleepy, giving you a short-term boost in alertness and even elevating your mood. But remember, like most things in life, moderation is key. Too much caffeine can lead to dependence, restlessness, and sleep disturbances. So, next time you enjoy your morning cup of coffee, take a moment to appreciate the complex chemistry at work. Behind that warm, comforting cup lies an intricate dance of molecules and neurotransmitters working together to help you feel awake and alert. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown of the science behind caffeine, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating science stories. Until next time, stay curious.